Hello everyone. So you all know our portions are over. So we need to discuss now the revision questions. Okay. So last class we have seen the periodic table. That is the exercise questions in the periodic table. So now we are going into the revision, the first revision. So you just take down the questions in a notebook. In a fresh page, you have to write the revision. I will tell you the questions and then you have to answer it and message to me today itself before 9 o'clock. Okay. So we will start the first question. Okay. So hope you are ready with the book and pen. So the first question, please write. What happens chemically? Write it down. What happens chemically when quicklime is added to water filled in a bucket? Once again I will read the question. What happens chemically when quicklime is added to water filled in a bucket? You know what is quicklime? What is quicklime? Quicklime is calcium oxide. Okay, so you find out the answer, then write it down. Okay. Now second question. What happens when dilute sulfuric acid is poured on copper plate? What happens when dilute sulfuric acid is poured means you have given on a copper plate. Okay. Now the third question. Hope we have wrote the second question. The third question is dry hydrogen chloride gas. Write it. Dry hydrogen chloride gas does not change the color of dry blue litmus. Give a reason for that. What's the question? Dry hydrogen chloride gas does not change the color of dry blue litmus. Full stop. Give a reason. Okay, that is the third question. Now write the fourth question. Fourth question is why covalent compounds are poor conductors of electricity? Why covalent compounds are poor conductors of electricity? Okay. Now the fifth question is you have to draw a table. Okay, you have to draw a table and write all the things what I am writing in this. Okay, it is a small section of the periodic table. So in board exams these questions can come like this. So here it is group indicating like this and period indicating like this. Got it? Now you have to write according to me 1, 2, then 3 to 12. Okay, now 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So I am writing till the 18th group. Okay, so you have to just write this as like groups and periods. Then from group 1 to 18, then period I will tell you. Okay, so now you got group 1 to 18. So 3 to 12 there is nothing in that. So just leave that. Okay. So here it is 2 and 3. So the second period and the third period is taken into consideration. Now here I am putting it as A, then 13 the B, then here it is E, 15 the C, and here it is D and F. So please make this table. Please make this table. Draw this table, then I will give you the questions according to this table. So in these type of patterns also, the examination point of view, the question will come. So they will be given a modern periodic table, a small section, where you have to carefully see the second period and the third period is given. Group is 1 to 2, 3 to 12 they are not given because we are not studied, 11th standard even studied, 13, 14, 15. Listen, you don't want to know which element is that. You just say if it is B or C, it is like that. Okay. Then, so hope you have drawn this table. Okay. So write the questions. Now from the following table, answer the following questions. From the following table, answer the following questions. Okay. The first question, right? Name the non-metal with the valency of 3. Name the non-metal with the valency of 3. Okay. So from this table, you study this table carefully and then you go through all the things we have studied, the trends, the valency, the atomic size, etc. So then give the answer. The first question from this table, name the non-metal with the valency of 3. Okay. Second question, out of B and C, right? Out of B and C, comma, whose atomic size is bigger? Out of B and C, whose atomic size is bigger and why? Once again, out of B and C, whose atomic size is bigger and why? Second question based on this table or periodic table. Okay. Now the third question on the basis of this periodic table, right? Third question, write a common name. Write the common name for the family. Write the common name for the family to which, write the common name for the family to which the elements D and F belongs. To the elements D and F belongs. Okay. So this is the question, that is fifth question. There are 3 parts in the fifth question. So we answer according to this question. Okay. Now coming to the sixth question. Sixth question, please write give reasons. Give reasons. The first question is, ionic compounds in general have high NP and BP. Ionic compounds in general have high melting point and boiling point. So that is the sixth question. Sixth question, sub-question 1. Ionic compounds in general have high MP and BP. Second question, write down the second question. In the sixth question, the second question is NaCl. You know what is NaCl? NaCl is sodium chloride. NaCl is soluble in water. NaCl is soluble in water but not in kerosene or petrol. NaCl is soluble in water but not in kerosene or petrol. So the sixth question, the second sub question. Now third question. Third question. Melting point of NaCl. You have to give the reason, right? The melting point of NaCl is 1074 Kelvin, while that of MgCl2 is 981 Kelvin. Give reason. Once again I will tell the question. Melting point of NaCl is 1074 Kelvin, while that of magnesium chloride, that is MgCl2, is 981 Kelvin. Okay, so you have to write the value points, why it happens. So it simply says that the melting point of NaCl is bigger or higher than that of MgCl2. That's the question. So what is the value point in that? What is the reason behind that? Okay. Now next seventh question. Write it down. Do basic solution also contains H plus ions. H plus ions you have to write like this. H plus aqueous. Do basic solution also contains H plus ions. Full stop. If yes, then why they are basic? If yes, why they are basic? That is the seventh question. Okay. Now the next question, the eighth question. Please write down. The eighth question. The eighth question, name the compound, write down, eighth question, name the compound whose one formula unit, name the compound whose one formula unit is associated with, one formula unit is associated with 10 water molecules, is associated with 10 water molecules, full stop. Along that question, how is it prepared? How is it prepared? And give the chemical equation for that. How is it prepared? And give the chemical equation for that. Okay. So it is the 8th question, right? Okay. Now the 9th question, please write. 9th question. What do you understand by the term synthetic indicators? What do you understand by the term synthetic indicators? Synthetic, you have studied the acid, base and salt. Synthetic indicators and natural indicators, correct? So, what do you understand by the term synthetic indicators? And give two examples. Give two examples of synthetic indicators. Okay. The next question. So this 10th question. Please write down the 10th question. A metal compound X. See, a metal compound X. A metal compound X. A metal compound X reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. A metal compound X reacts with dilute sulfuric acid to produce effervescence. Effervescence means what? Small bubbles. Effervescence means bubbles. That's the dilute sulfuric acid to produce effervescence. Okay. The gas Y. Okay, so in this you will get the gas Y. So the gas Y evolved. So by this reaction, gas Y is evolved. So the gas evolved, the gas Y, capital Y, evolved, extinguishes a burning candle. What is it? The gas Y extinguishes. What do you mean by extinguishes? Extinguishes means it will put off. Extinguishes a burning candle. Okay. Then, if one of the compound formed is calcium sulfate, if one of the compound formed is calcium sulfate, if one of the compound formed is calcium sulfate, then what is X? What is X and the gas Y evolved? What is X and the gas Y evolved? Also write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction involved. And also write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction involved. Okay. That is a 10th question. Okay. Now two more questions. The 11th question, please write. The 11th question. Can the following groups of elements be classified as Daubigne's triad? Be classified as Daubigne's triad. You know the spelling of Daubigny, right? Daubigne's triad. D-O-B-E-R-E-I-N-E-R-S. Daubigne's triad. Now, 1. Sodium, silicon and chlorine. Second is beryllium, magnesium and calcium. Explain by giving reason. The question is nothing but they are asked whether these elements can be treated as a Daubenier triad. What is Daubenier triad? The mass of the atomic weight, the mass of this element will be the mean of the central element, isn't it? Okay, so just try it out whether it comes in the Daubenier triad and give a reason for that. Okay, give reason for that. Okay, then next question. Next question. The last question. Okay, 12 questions. That's enough. 12 question. Barium chloride react with the aluminium sulfate, right? Barium chloride react with aluminium sulfate to give aluminium chloride and a precipitate X. Aluminium chloride and a precipitate X. Write the chemical reaction involved. Write the chemical reaction involved and also name the type of the reaction. Name the type of the reaction. Okay, so 12 questions. These are revision questions. So please go through the questions and write it down. Then send it to me so that I can correct it and check. Okay, so next session we will have some more questions. So till then, thank you.